So today's discussion, we're gonna try to have a light discussion, but I don't know. Sorry for the background thing, but a lot has happened this week. But I do want to be brief about it because I don't want to give too much of my. I care, but I also know where my values, my heart, and where I'm leaning towards. So I'm not gonna be like that intense about it, So Charlie Kirk, Israel, and UN, the topics I'm gonna talk about. I understand and I accept that he is a lightning figure and that he and his way of viewing the world and what he promotes is got people upset, bothered, confused, it's like a tool essentially. How his martyrdom is going to be used to essentially just fast track like their agenda to bring this country like into 100% fascism. Having said that, I believe that one should not shoot somebody, kill somebody, maim, torture, or prevent somebody from speaking their point, a point of view. At the same time, I do believe of freedom of speech, but I also believe that that within reason. If you're trying to incite, I believe like laws, regulations, things of that nature exist because we understand as a society that there is a inherent responsibility that we all are grandfathered into, that just because you can say things, that doesn't mean that you should be allowed to say things. And people have a right to seek out whatever it is that they want to seek out, and I have a right to react to whatever it is what narrative that you push in, or however it is that you're trying to make me feel about this individual, Charlie Kirk. I can just say no. I do not. I think it's unfortunate how he died. Period. Like I don't agree with his views. I don't feel strongly what else is there to say? Like everybody feels whatever it is that they want to feel about this individual. And while I might, like, if he was still alive, would I fuck with him? Would I say he was a good person? No. But the level of intensity that he's being portrayed through the corners of the world and the internet was just like, no, I am not going to subscribe to that. You want to spend your time having hours and hours and hours and hours of segments on this individual. You want to spend enough time. I'm not saying that we could talk about the impact, we could talk about social, but I'm just saying in the scope of the things that I want to focus on, Charlie Kirk will not be one of them. Having said that, let's segue into Israel. So, of course, there's just been the same developments of, unfortunately. It's going to be more like Israel and the UN response and the nature of what is the UN? I don't know. I mean, I don't know what in a nutshell what the UN represents, what it's supposed to do, what they believe that they're doing. I can see the actual like gains and then how to like calculate the gains versus the losses, or what is exactly being a part of this, like girl, that's like a whole debate about how I feel that the whole League of Nations is just like it's supposed to be like a helpful tool to make sure that everybody is living I mean, that's how I thought of it when I was growing up, when I was younger, that United Nations, that it was like, if you need money, you need clothing, you need resources, we can help you. If we have a coalition to just deter people from starting wars. But I just feel like now that I'm more educated, it seems like it's just a political like extension of like world powers to like extend like their rule of law, their influence, and not necessarily as like an extension to do good. So I find that every time they sit around in their council and they listen to Palestine and they listen, and it's just meeting. I'll be honest, I don't necessarily pay attention to what's going on in the United Nations as much as I should, or maybe honestly, I don't know. I don't know if I ever will pay attention to the UN like that, because I generally, since becoming an adult and since of like having so much information at my fingertips, I generally struggle with like the efficiency, like the level, like I just like how they promote themselves and what they're actually doing. Like I feel like their studies and like their academic arm, like writing papers, is probably more influential and probably does a benefit to the world than like their, I don't know, so-called peaceful endeavors. I don't know. They probably stop diseases. I mean, on a smaller scale, probably. If it's a small village, it's a small town, but I'm just on a macroeconomical like level. It's like, like you guys overpromise a little bit too much, or maybe just all the time. You just overpromise, like, and you don't follow through. Like it's like the fact that like these three countries, Russia, China, US, can just shape the trajectory of the entire world, and the entire world just goes along with it, is becoming, as I get older, very fucking irritating, like beyond irritating. Sometimes it could be infuriating, because it's like so many people just want to be on the tit of either one of the three, or just all three of these countries. And it's usually like to the detriment of like their own people. Like the fact that like all three of these countries is like, they're not trying to go into like, they're not trying to like distance or limit or just stop trying to be on that imperial type thinking, that it's like, damn, they just be like, oh, we have more tools so that we could like colonize more, and then we could be like more indirect about doing it. We could do it the smart way. Imagine, I just feel like the vibe that I get from these three countries, and I'm American, that they just be like, oh, imagine it's like certain people within each government is like, oh, imagine if we had the tools, like, we could have conquered a lot more. And even with the more liberal or the softer approaches, it's like with each government, you have like an antithesis to like their view of like probably imperialism, but they probably still go along to it because they see that it puts them in a better standing worldwide. But honestly, it's just like, since being more aware and being more knowledgeable and being actually caring about the situation in Israel, it's that I don't believe that I just don't, I just find it very hard to justify like having such like three nations like dominate like everything. Now if they were like leading with peace, leading with like, you know, a new world age where it's like, oh damn, no climate change, no war profiteering, no child trafficking, no just oh we it's like if they were leading in just for like the good of humanity, and even then I would still say, well, maybe we wouldn't even have this problem, because if they were leading with like good intentions, they probably would have been like, no country, even because of like, you know, their military might should be, they themselves will check themselves, and they would like, you know, balance power equally, so that you can have things in place to be like, okay, we cannot default to only these three countries that obviously still romanticize in colonization / imperialism. Like, but back to like Israel, like apparently maybe they're probably trying to just switch up like the psychological like propaganda warfare against like their image. They're trying to do a revamp. They're trying to like, oh, people think we're the bad guys. I wonder how they thought that. Like, so you commit what they say is genocide, and suddenly you're the bad. It's like, girl, I would have thought that in the beginning that it was just the Israeli government. But now I'm thinking, sis, it's just the Israeli government and its people. Because the fact that you guys going on vacation, you going to comedy clubs, you have your people coming in, visiting, going to the UN, having all these, like, you guys are just, and then like all these corporations like defending them. It's like you could, and I want to be proven wrong, but the evidence is there that no matter what heinous thing that the IDF or any Israeli person does to a Palestinian, like there's gonna be an Israeli who's gonna be like, and what's the problem? And I'm just like, I can't even fathom the level of like just as on a human level, how a system, you as a person, as an individual, as an adult, as somebody who thinks yourself as intelligent, would be so brainwashed and allow yourself to be brainwashed that there's no limitations as to what you would do to your enemy, and how you would like just go about your day just knowing that just doing these heinous things, and just the fact that you're not even like, and I see a trickle of Israelis giving pause of just saying this is really fucked up. But I'm just like, I see the mirror, like I see like the consistencies between how the Nazis treated the Jews versus, and I'm just saying, you guys round them up, you don't treat them like people, and it's like a whole society had to participate in order for you, because it's like in just history that keeps repeating itself, unfortunately, is that you have to get permission from your citizens to be like the worst of the worst. Like in America, you couldn't have gotten away with the genocide of like the indigenous people of America, or just throughout the world, if your citizens people hadn't had convinced the majority to be okay with it. And it's just like, it's just wild to me every time they're shocked. Like, they're shocked, like, why can't I live my life as I'm supporting my government doing like these atrocities? And mind you, like, all the reaction to just Israel has not been like violent. It's just been like, I'm not gonna do business with you. I'm not gonna fuck with you. And like the way how they're reacting is as if like that's the worst possible like scenario. Like, to be like, oh, they don't think, like, not the fact that they have to look inward or see that, oh damn, I'm participating in a system. And don't get me wrong, I can't just be like in my glass house throwing stones, as the adage goes, or whatever, because I'm complicit in, but I am actively trying not to be complicit in this system. But it's just really disheartening, and it's very hard for me to believe that the Israeli people are doing the same thing too. I feel like the level of disregard and just the framework of like their society, where they do want an apartheid state. It's like all these things that they say they are not. It's like, okay, you have a state that prioritizes, oh, you don't give statehood to people not being, it's like all like not Jewish people. Oh, these people who have been occupied and pushed out of their home, and they have a reason, and it's about like God. And I'm just like, I find that as much as people, and I'm not religious, and I do have a lot of like, things, gripes with just organized religion as a whole, but I will say that the people who choose to use religion for a tool for goodness in the world do exist. And that people who also, it's like a tool that can go either way. That it's like, oh, when the people, and I'm thinking that a few of them is brainwashed, but a few of them have allow themselves or just have hateful rhetoric in their hearts, and that the commandments and the pastures that they follow in the religion and the things that they follow in their religion is promoting attitudes that don't equal like humanity first, or don't equal for the betterment of humanity. And I think that's their cross to bear, to be able to look to see. But it's like, I don't believe that they want to see inward that, oh yeah, these people that I look up to, that I follow, that I teach, that I religiously believe that they can do no wrong, is telling me to do atrocious things. And it's like, I find it just kind of like, it just makes me like super sad to be around people, celebrities, important people, who would say that they can make the justification that they're somehow defending themselves. And I'm like, if I was to go to like Israel right now, like who is the boogeyman? Like, who is the boogeyman? Who is out there just being like, oh no, lock up your kids, like we got wear armor, where the society is like collapsing if we don't do this to Palestine. It's like, you're making a fundamental choice to like do these heinous things because you've convinced yourselves that in order, like, basically you guys don't want more territory. You want more land. You want to make more babies. So you've convinced yourself the only way that we can sell this way to just we don't want to live in harmony with the Palestine. We just want we want their land. So your government and the people convince each other that the boogeyman and the evil that's preventing me from prospering is the Palestinians. And the world didn't do like this situation any better by they set a precedent of like, oh, we can go into a sovereign nation, pluck people from their land, put you there, and then they should shut the hell up and just be happy that we just remove them and not kill them. And so then you expand and you keep growing, and you don't like the fact that, damn, we only have this small area. And, you know, you convince yourself that, oh, I have the better religion, I have the better people, and you want to expand and you want to move forward. So what would be the most easiest way to do that? These people are bad. These people, these heathens, and it's like time in memoriam where it's like, it's as simple as like a direct line. These is usually, oh, they want more land. How do you get more land? Oh, if I just took it outright, I would be the bad guy. So I have to create a scenario. I have to create like an enemy. I have to create circumstances that will allow me to get not only get the land, but allow the people and the government to continue to do what the fuck, however they want. The ends justify the means, because I've created like this whole framework that's like a closed loop. They're the bad guy. They're the bad guy. God told me that, you know, I'm supposed to prosper, that I'm supposed to, you know, go far out and nobody's supposed to stop me. God promised me this land, and these people are in the way of this fulfillment that God has promised me. So therefore, I have to stop them. I have to remove this obstacle by any means necessary, and I get the land, and the whole process continues over and over and over again. I'm just, at this point, I really hope that they don't take Gaza. I hope they don't take any more land. I hope the UN actually sends like peacekeeping troops or whatever, and, you know, forcefully like tell them to like bring back the people that they kick off the land or whatever. How that's, I don't know how I have an idea of how things may play out, or what might happen, what probably will happen, but I'm really hoping that they stop with this expansion scheme, and they stop trying to pretend that this souped up country with this anti-missile is like the victim, because it's getting really fucking ridiculous that you have your boot on somebody's neck, they grasping for air, they trying to survive, and then you're like by any means necessary, they're just trying to survive, and then every time they're just trying to survive, you're just I am being oppressed. Like all these countries from all over the world tripping over themselves, giving you like the best warfare, the best type of warfare, the best. And not only that, their support. So they're like, oh, you can't. They're keeping the Palestinians in check to be like, don't start any shit. Or they're telling every other Muslim country in the Middle East or whatever, don't start any shit, because, you know, we'll fuck you up. So you know, and it's like the whole Western thing where they obsess with just like, oh, Israel might be our gateway to like, you know, cleanse in the Middle, like finally having the Middle East that the world deserves and bullshit. I have a feeling like that's another type of like angle that they're going for, and that's one of the main reasons that they keep supplying Israel, because they're like, you're doing the Lord's work, you know. One less Arab country is a good day for me or whatever. But all that to say that no, from henceforth, if there, I'm gonna be like, yeah, you, me, and the relationship between like the state of Israel, we on an embargo. Like, you're gonna be an embargo. Like, I don't want to hear from you. I don't want to see you. So you could take your products, you could take your movies, you could take your video games, you could take anything, and anybody who supports like the Israeli government, like you can say that right now. I really hope, and I said it with my whole chest, that you say out loud that you support Israel, so I could just be like, okay, then you don't need my money, and I'm not gonna argue with you. I'm not gonna provide opposition to you. I'm not gonna be like, oh, maybe you need more time. I'm just like, no, you don't need my money. You don't need my money. You don't need my resources. You don't need nothing about me. It's gonna be like, for me personally, like, if as much as I can do, that I can just be like, oh, I'm gonna do my best to stop any type of like war machine. So if I see somebody doing something I consider heinous, something that's just unforgivable, or just, and it doesn't have to be just a person, it could be an entity, it could be a whole country. And if I feel strongly and powerful, like, I mean, I'm not really as well educated as I should be, but what I'm saying is that all I can do is I can continuously do my part. So if people say, well, this is one way to show that, okay, you don't tolerate this, you know, because I understand the machine that we all live in, that even no matter where I live in, the government is still going to find some way, and they may not proclaim that they support, and they find more covert ways to like do what they've been doing and keep it away, because they want to have that, they want to keep their political influence intact. But I'm just saying, as a citizen, as a caring human being, as just somebody who just recognized wrong is just wrong. Wrong is just, and I know like the media and all these other people trying their hardest, like they speed running any narrative that they can find, trying to convince me, trying to convince you, trying to convince everybody that, oh, Israel's not doing anything bad. And it's just not just Israel, it's like all over, like, you know, countries in Africa, or how they view the boogeyman, or the Islam is like the terrorists, and any narrative that they want to spread. And it's just up to me as an individual to at least help foster or help promote the world that I want to be in. So if I find within my means to do what I can in my small little bubble, and hopefully it continues to grow and other people continue to do it as well, then I'm gonna do it. Right now, like, I'm not gonna be like, we on an embargo. I feel that I'm not on a full embargo. Okay. So back to like a circular point about the geopolitical spectrum or whatever. Not that, but this is like a new topic. But it's like, countries that I wish an effective embargo would be like China and Russia, because they're fucking up my country. I know it's them. You know, they finally found the perfect idiot to rule the U.S. and he installed more idiots underneath him. So it's like a perfect They've been trying to do this for so many different ways, and they finally found the perfect one to fuck up like my country, so they themselves can take over the #1 spot. And I'm just saying, like, I saw fuck you, but not a hardcore fuck you, because it's like, I understand that unlike the Israeli government and its people, I don't feel that the Chinese people and the Russia people is just so vast. I don't really feel like they unilaterally care for like how Russia and China does business and conducts themselves on the world stage and trying to acquire more power. Stay on this infinite power kick with just fucking people. It's just damn. It's just like every time these fucking politicians, these fucking governments, the tech bros, whatever billionaires, they just never have enough power. Never. Power corrupts absolutely. They just addicted to it, and I'm just so over it. But anyways, but I'm not saying that it's like really difficult to do. If I could just sequester like their little embargo, a light embargo, a strategic embargo with Russia and China, because they're trying to they're setting all their damn pawn pieces, and just it's frustrating with everything that they're trying to do. Is always on this fucking imperialism. But anyways, I'm just saying that there's just there's a difference, because it's not like, I feel like the difference between the Israeli people and the Chinese and the Russian people is that you have some sort of resistance to like just the fucked upness. I just feel like a strong majority in Israel is like, I am unbothered. I do not care. I wish you would just stop talking to me about these non-human, non-important Palestinians. That's the vibe that I'm getting, and that's why I'm not going. I don't feel like I would want to or need to go a full embargo with with my support. But what do I say? Fine, I realized that I didn't say what an embargo, my personal embargo is, and what it means, etc. So any political influence. So if they say, oh, I'm here for AIPAC, or they say I am for, that's no, just absolutely not. Don't come to me telling me about your campaign or endorse or what vote. Just absolutely not. It's just a hard no, a hard pass. Any entertainment, any products, pretty much like any affiliation. If I know, and then if I follow or anything, I'm just gonna be a hard pass. I'm just gonna say no. I'm not gonna explain why I say no, because I explained it right now, and it's not up to me to be like, oh, to make you see or make you feel or make you care about the Palestinian. You made your decision, I made mine, and that's how we're gonna go through right now. So, political support, entities, institutions, products, people, celebrities. I'm just gonna say hard pass. I'm not even gonna tell them like a hard pass. I'm just gonna and I'm just one person, and I'm not like trying to like tell people what to do or what to feel or whatever. But me personally, I'm just like, when trying to Google or whatever it is, if I know and I feel like now I have to do like more work, not the hardest work, because I feel like the hardest job right now is like just fucking staying alive here in Palestine and or Ukraine, just when you're in war and constantly, that's the hardest fucking job. But I'm just saying, something that I am not used to is paying attention to where my money goes and where my support follows and whatever. And I think that could be highly impactful, and it can go a long way. And I ask for people who may not necessarily view everything we may not see eye to eye on everything, but if we see eye to eye on that, fucking Palestine deserves to exist. Its people deserves to exist. They deserve their kids, their kids, their kids, their kids, their kids, their kids, their grandkids deserve to just live in peace, live healthy, longful, fruitful lives without just being constantly being the barrage of like fucking Israeli weaponry, and not just Israeli weaponry, but just like the Western barbarity. And I just have a feeling like it's just like the world's over. Like I feel like the smaller countries stand on business, but I find that every other like big sizable country, I feel like in some way or in some capacity, they have given them money or they have given them weaponry, or they have, and I'm just saying that I would implore you to just divert your money elsewhere. Have it be who exists in the world. Don't only exist in the world, but shape the world. Help create the world that you want to be in. That's all. That's me talking about it. Me just, as I used to say way back when I was younger, Maxima. And bye.